Chris Christopher here. On my podcast, Relentless Life on Your Terms, in Los Angeles, America, I sat down with Behonzin, who's a business coach, has very high ticketed clients that pay up to €1 million for 18 months of his service, wrote a book called 12 Days where he starved himself on food and water, great read, and explains what you need to do to take your business and your mindset to the next level. Thank you. Hi, Chris Christopher here on my podcast, Relentless Life on Your Terms, coming at you from LA with a good friend of mine, Behonzin. Eric, thank you for being on the show, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much for receiving me.
Now, I met you quite a few years back through a similar thing. We're at Mega Success now, and we're also a part of a thing that we do, a networking thing called Golden Circle, so we've become friends over the years. First of all, well done last year. Out of 2,500 entrepreneurs and 80 speakers, you actually voted the top speaker.
Yeah, it was really, really amazing. Actually, I didn't expect that because I didn't want it to be number one. I wanted it to be different. So this is why everything I created was to disrupt every kind of person. To create a video and then talk about this and talk about that, the title and everything, and at the end I create a whole experience. Because I was a professional singer, so I create something new as well. So.
You did, and look, I was one of the people you beat, so I would have preferred that spot, but actually you did very well. I really enjoyed your speech. So you were a professional singer. In 2005, obviously, you ventured off in the business world. 2015, you started coaching. Now you become one of the best coaches in the world, and one of the few people that I know that actually commands €1 million some of your clients pay you for 18 months.
Exactly. At the moment we're recording this video, I have 7 companies who pay for that. And of course, for some people who said, oh, who is this guy who could be able to charge that? The thing is, what I've understood, of course, first it's about the promise, what you really deliver. Of course. The value should be there. And the second, when people put this kind of money on the table, they are engaged like never before.
They're invested.
Yeah. Because the thing is, they are involved. And when you put that on the table, they are ready and they'll go all in. And because I go all in when I coach my clients, I want them also to go all in.
Of course. But no one's giving you €1 million if you're not getting results or adding value. It's just not possible. So obviously you're doing a great job. No one's saying, here's a check for $1 million. Eric, you seem like a good guy, here's a check.
Sure.
So obviously that's a big thing. And you started a company called Explosive Business in 2017, which is basically coaching. Why do you think business coaching is so important?
Well, I would say there's 2 things that a coach can bring to an entrepreneur. Number one, the entrepreneur doesn't know what he doesn't know. And second, he doesn't know what he knows. What does it mean? He's not aware of the whole world of possibilities, of all the different interactions that could have his different activity, his choices in decision in business. And the second, he doesn't know exactly what's inside of it. I'm talking about his challenges, I'm talking about his limiting beliefs, but also the great things, the massive potential. And the thing is, a coach that is not involved emotionally, because he's outside of it. So he can see, okay, there is something that you can see. So he's there to see the blind spot. He said to give him, okay, you see, guy, I have 14, 15 years of experience, and you will benefit from the lessons, from the mistakes, from my victories. And so what I've learned is 15 years, in 2 minutes you will get it.
So you make the process a lot quicker.
Exactly.
Now, one thing too, I know you wrote a book called 12 Days. Tell me a bit about it.
12 days is like kind of controversial. I spent 12 days, no food or water. So it was a dry fast. And I write this book. And you know what? In the beginning, I just wanted to rest. So I didn't plan to fast for 12 days. But 2 days before that, I had this intuition that I had to write this book. And so when you're like, okay, I'm going to do it, I have to do it. And the thing is, the only thing because before I was procrastinating, because I don't like writing. In high school, I was not good at that, so I didn't want to do it. But at this moment, I say, okay, I will write this book, but I don't know what it's about. And so at the moment I say, okay, I will write about like how I made my first million in 8 months. And so I was beginning to do it, and then the second day, I had the intuition that I had to talk about the dry fast.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, everybody would think I'm a crazy guru, like who wants to hypnotize people and say, okay, let's stop eating and drinking. And the thing is, this was my journey. And so I had to talk about all these things, but I was saying, oh, everything is separate. How can I do that? So I decided to, on the left-hand pages, for like left brain,
Yep.
you know, very analytical, logical, and everything, to talk about my business part, like the blueprint, and on the right-hand pages was journaling, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, until day 12. So it's 2 books which are totally different, and so, but at the end, it's kind of connected.
But you did, well, I thought it was crazy too, but actually your body would have went through crazy emotions and thoughts at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So you writing about that experience was awesome, but it also, what I liked about it is you're pushing your boundaries to a different level, which is kind of what coaching is.
Yes,
With
exactly.
the harder the things are, the more you grow, the more you push.
Exactly. I think there's 3 things that change a person very quickly, because this is what's important. Like how you can hack life and you can save a lot of time. Pain, shock, and revelations.
Yeah.
And this is what I create each time I coach somebody. We go through pain, we go through shock, and we go through revelations.
Yep.
So from that, there's something that cracks. All the fortress, the mask that people have,
Yep.
it boom, just blow away, disappear, and right now you can see what's really possible.
Is that the name Explosive Business? Is that where it came from? A big explosion? Is that it?
Explosion, yeah. Something has to crack.
To create
and
impact.
Exactly, and something has to be ready, precise now.
So Eric, a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. Why did you get into business coaching?
Oh wow, that's amazing, because so many people say, "Oh, Eric, you were a singer before. What is the relationship between singing and coaching people to sing and business?" And basically, what I've learned is business problems are people problems, and it was the same thing for singers. So I asked myself, okay, what is the relationship between a singer and an entrepreneur? And in the beginning, I was like, okay, both need to be liked by their audience, and second, they need to share a message, right? So I was like, okay, but it's not enough. So I asked myself, okay, imagine a great singer and a great entrepreneur. For example, let's talk about Michael Jackson and Steve Jobs.
Okay, 2 great examples. Yep.
2 great examples. Both of them are rock star. Imagine like you put a poster and you put a photo and a name, a date, a place, a location, everybody will rock, right?
That's true.
So both are rock star in their fields. And I understood something, that I am able to transform people in rock star. This is my gift, right? I talk about that in the book.
So from an average entrepreneur to a rock star.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so it took me 7 years of personal research to understand what I was able to do for people, to really identify clearly in what they're really specific, unique, and great, to get the result they wanted. So this is, I describe it in the first 4 chapters of the book, these 7 years of research. So I ask people some very precise questions, very simple, but very deep at the same time, for them to really understand how they can perform more. Because in order to get those massive results, for example, I had some clients in real estate, some clients in cryptocurrency, some clients who are consultants, personal trainers. So some areas that I don't master, right? And the point is, from there to get to their first million in less than 10 months, or somebody's cryptocurrency in 22 months went from 70K to 9.1 million. You know, how is it possible? Massive shift, massive transformation.
You're talking about in the mindset, in the person.
I'm talking about the identity. Because the person who's making 70,000 a year and the person who's making like 6 or 7 or 8 million is not the same person.
100%. You need different skill sets at each level.
Exactly. It doesn't have the same mindset, doesn't see the numbers the same way, doesn't go to the same clients and everything. So this is why my role is to create that shift. In order to, okay, right now you understand, now you can see yourself bigger, because before you were bigger, so your results are there. If you see yourself that way, so you can act.
So you're basically saying, first create the mindset and the belief that you're worth 6 million, and the money will come.
First, get the clarity.
Yep.
Then the belief.
Yep.
then focus. Focus and courage. Because if you don't have clarity, some people have a great mindset, but they don't know who they are. They don't know exactly, very precisely, what they're great at. So that means that they cannot define and create the context and the goal in order to achieve something massive. Sometimes people say, okay, I have a great mindset, I'm a champion. Champion in what?
So they don't think big enough? Is that what you're saying?
It's not just big enough. I would say really precise in the destination, in the way they function, and what drives them as well.
And I like the example you use, Steve Jobs and Michael Jackson. They're rock stars in their field, but no one knows how to transform a message or to move people like this.
Sure.
Like, but look at Steve Jobs. It's
Yeah.
people lining up for.
Sure.
Or look at Michael Jackson. He's timeless. His music will never ever die, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's one of the most respected artists
Yeah.
of all time, and doesn't matter what field. You've got to have
Exactly.
something special.
Exactly. Something special, something unique, something different. And there's something that I call about in the book, chapter 4, the ultimate gift. And I said that the ultimate gift is the unconscious response to the biggest pain of your life. So I work on that, and when they discovered that, the whole world, their vision of the world changed totally.
It's an inner shift first. I really like that. That's basically how people can really take their business to the next level, and it's how you've taken it to the next level. What's in the future plans for Eric?
Yeah, first I have some proposition to be advisor, both to some companies, and I'm watching some projects, two kinds of projects: real estate for most long term, and some blockchain projects for shorter term. To be an advisor, being connected some people in London, Dubai, so it could be interesting to work with them. And it's another level, not just business coach, but right now also advisor, and get some private equity and so on.
That's awesome. Sounds exciting. And in February, I'm going to see you again for our Golden Circle again. Eric, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, mate.